hidden gem is something that has value or beauty, but maybe it's not immediately apparent. Therefore, this thing or place has probably received far less recognition than it deserves. So that brings us to the northeast portion of our journey. That brings us to Aliti. After 10 days of non-stop driving, eating, shooting, cooking, and an extremely packed schedule, we finally had a day to rest. So Aliti, whose name means peace or calm, is an unsuspecting little town a few kilometers from the port of Messina and seemed like a great place to just chill and recharge. They say Aliti is the town of eternal spring, with its year-round mild climate, and on a gloomy afternoon I took a jog down to the beach, and as I continued down the coast, I came upon some small lakes and caves, and a mountain with some sort of church or monastery on top. And then the sun came out, and for a brief time this sleepy little beach town transformed into a utopia. And after doing a little research, I learned about that church up on the mountain. It's called Tindari, which houses a black Madonna. And I learned how this stretch of land that juts out into the sea is part of a legend that says a pilgrim thousands of years ago came with her child to visit the ancient Madonna statue. But even way back then, there was racist pilgrims. So when she found out the Madonna was black, she refused to pray, tripped, and dropped her baby off the cliff. But it's said that the Virgin Mary herself raised this small strip of land to save the baby. So there's that. And just down the road from there is the ancient Greek theater of Tindari. So although it started as a rest day in a sleepy town, I thought the crew might appreciate this natural reserve and enjoy a dusky stroll.
Okay, it's our big moment.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Frankie, boy. Listen, Fra. I wanted to bring you out here and show you this little treasure that I found on my run today. Okay?
Yeah?
No, so this is the kind of stuff that happens. This is very, Sicily specific, I think, where
Yeah.
you just any little old town on the way from point A to point B. Man, this is stunning. This is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And so peaceful. This is something I'll remember now forever. I remember it because I walked around the caves and I, explored all around here. And it's really nice.
Yeah.
It's like you take your girlfriend here on a little date, take a walk around here, right? Perfect. She'd be blown away.
Yeah?
She'd say, Frank,
Yeah?
look at this place. It's gorgeous.
Yeah!
You found this secret little place. You're such a good man. I
Yeah.
love you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Just a sec, guys.
So yeah, Aliti, a peaceful, beautiful, simple place where curly-haired women drift through the sea at sunset.
Ciao.
And then of course you see this as you head back to the beach, where the restaurant puts tables right out in the sand. I love this place. But the real reason we stopped here was not to fall in love, not to find a secret beauty, but simply to stay somewhere close to the port where we would be catching the ferry to the Aeolian Islands.
Salina.
Our base was Salina, a volcano covered in green growth, a rich, fertile land perfect for growing exotic wines, and that's exactly where we'd start our island adventure. We were hosted by Frank's family friends, the Colosis, and stayed at the Colosi winery on the side of the mountain. We were greeted warmly by Pietro, his sister Mariana, his wife Martina, and their dog Aria. We were excited to learn about this luscious, layered terrace vineyard that flowed up the mountain.
Tutto è basato su l'autosostenibilità.
E quindi la natura che fa il suo corso
La
e permette
natura
di
fa il suo
poter
corso.
fare una crescita
Sì.
naturale.
E questo è dovuto sia alle caratteristiche pendenze che ci sono qui sull'isola, perché diciamo i suoli sono molto scoscesi e quindi si creano questi terrazzi fatti con la pietra locale. E la pianta della malvasia è facilmente riconoscibile, è molto particolare perché già dalla foglia si permette di riconoscere la cultivar. E qua è proprio una foglia caratteristica della malvasia, come abbiamo detto pentalobata, con il seno peziolare a forma di goccia e ha comunque un aspetto bello, un verde bel brillante. Sia nelle foglie piccoline, perché sono quelle ancora in fase di sviluppo, sia nelle foglie più grandi.
Sì,
E questo è molto utile anche ai coltivatori in zona, perché sanno le tipologie di lavorazioni che devono fare in campagna se stanno lavorando con la malvasia delle Lipari o con altre cultivar. E da una piccola attività che era nata diciamo un po' come hobby è diventata un vero e proprio lavoro a tempo pieno. E noi oggi riusciamo a raccogliere quasi 12 ettari di vigna che è in produzione qui sull'isola. Le persone che vogliono assaggiare, vogliono bere, vogliono anche che tu gli racconti quello che c'è dietro quella bottiglia e quel bicchiere di vino che stanno bevendo.
The story of the Colosi winery starts back in the 70s, when Pietro's father, Pietro, started cultivating vineyards on suggestive terraces overlooking the sea and producing unique wines that, in their words, tell a story of light, wind, sun, and color. Colosi, with its 11.5 hectares of vineyards, is among the most representative producers on the island of Salina. The area of their winery in Malfa is considered among the best both for exposure to the sun and for the chemical nature of the volcanic soil. The Malvasia is the main vine of all the wine production of the area and of the Colosi company. In 2020, they finished the conversion of all of their wine farming processes to be 100% organic. And just around this time, Pietro's sister Mariana joined the business full-time, working mainly in foreign exports.
So who's the boss? I'm picturing she's the boss.
What do you think?
I think you're the boss.
You're right.
Il boss che vuol dire lei?
No, il boss.
Tu sei il boss?
Sì.
No, tu non sei il boss.
Sì, io sì.
No, assolutamente.
Invece sì. E stasera dormi fuori con il tuo cane sporco.
He's the boss.
He's the
No.
boss. She's the boss.
Ma
She's the
proprio.
After a detailed and fascinating walkthrough of their wine, Pietro took us down to their local beach in Malfa for a swim break. This is a rocky beach, which has its advantages, including it's beautiful to look at. It has a peaceful and hypnotic sound. You don't get sand all over everything. And you can build rock statues, like Will did. And as the sun went down in Salina, we headed back to get ready for an evening on the other side of the island. Dinner in the town of Pollara. Pollara is the smallest and most remote of the three main villages on Salina. And their claim to fame is that the 1994 Academy Award-winning film Il Postino was filmed on location right there in their town. It's a film starring Massimo Troisi in his final appearance, and has had a lasting impact on Italian film and definitely on this tiny village in Salina. The restaurant we ate at that night, Locanda del Postino, celebrates the film's legacy and has some props from the movie, like this bike. Now I have to admit that at the time of the shooting, I had not seen Il Postino, so my excitement about being in the same town where it was filmed was kind of minor. But that feeling has since changed. I recently watched Il Postino, and I can honestly say it's one of the greatest films I've ever seen. I absolutely loved it. And in a wild coincidence, minor spoiler alert, in the later part of that film, the character Mario, played by the late Troisi, in a beautiful scene, goes out with a sound recorder and starts recording nature sounds around the island. And so if you're not following along, the film we made in Sicily is also about someone who goes around and records the sounds of the island. Suono dell'isola. And I had never heard or seen those words together before. Not until I was, of course, listening to the incredible Oscar-nominated score of the film Il Postino and saw that the title of one of their most memorable songs is Suoni dell'Isola. So yeah, all this knowledge had now made this place, this film, so much more important than I could have ever imagined. And it's just another example of following the flow of existence and creation and letting energies collide in unexpected moments. I also must note that we are using these short excerpts of the film under the Fair Use Act, as this is being used for educational purposes. The lesson here is, if you have not seen Il Postino, the postman, you need to do so immediately. It is mandatory. That's your homework. Go watch this perfect movie. So on to dinner. The Leva family welcomed us warmly to their lovely restaurant, where they've created unique dishes using all the plentiful local produce and ingredients, like this parsley puree. And their tendency here is to put a modern spin on traditional Sicilian dishes.
The thing that personally, which is something I personally feel really attached, is the natural environment. It's something that here it's crazy. The quality of the water when you go swimming, the kind of fish you can find, the one you will have now eating at the restaurant, and the land, the vegetables that grows here, the wine, everything you grows here is just perfect.
The thing about Sicily is I think that most Sicilians really respect that the food and the land is important. And it is a miracle, the fact that the food and the things grow here and it tastes the best,
The oil, the wine, the grapes, the fish, the vegetables, the fruits.
And now, yes, it was finally time to gather around the table on the outdoor patio.
Ricciola hamburger carpaccio with tomato confit, a cream of celery and apple, jelly of escarole, and pink pepper.
The dishes prepared here were creative and made with extremely high-quality ingredients from the island. We took it slow and talked about the things we loved, like food and wine.
Here we have spaghetti with fresh anchovies, cooked with whipped parsley from the garden, and served with pine nuts, raisins, and mollica turrata on top, which is a kind of toasted bread. Mollica turrata, it was, the parmesan of poor people, that kind of parmesan that you can always have, because they used to do it with old bread.
They want to sprinkle something on top, right?
Yeah,
Like, we don't have
exactly.
any cheese, so let's take the crusty bread and do it. Yes, exactly.
Crusty bread.
And as we ate, the conversation turned more serious and reflective. We got comfortable opening up to each other.
I believe that, worlds and lives collide for a reason. I believe in that sort of stuff, that like there's a fateful energy that brings people together in a way to enrich our lives.
Oh, yes.
And it seems like Salina is really, one of these magical places.
Oh, yes.
This island is like a house for me. I have some sentimental storm inside me, because I remind also my father that passed another life. My father worked with Pietro father because he worked like a chemical and enologic expert, and worked with the Colosi cellar. And I remind that I coming here in Salina when I was young, 1 month before he died, say to me, "Hey Frank, when this fucking situation pass, we have to go to Salina again." So now I'm here. Maybe my father is here also, in this table, and taste this incredible wine. And maybe also he stayed with me every day and every single things that I do. Salina for me is so important. Yeah, and I'm so happy to stay with you guys.
Thank you.
So cheers.
Salute. Salute.
Anche senza ridere.
Frankie, baby.
Questo è il pezzo,
You're a good boy. You too. You're a good boy.
As dinner winded down, we were presented with a special dessert. A cannolo made with Salina's famous capers. Food experts from all over claim that the capers from Salina are the best in the world, and they use them here in everything. Even in the unsuspecting cannoli, where they added a complex flavor, a little zing to the crema ricotta, and it was delicious. And I had to try another one of Mary Chiara's desserts. So yeah, I had tiramisu as well. The Leyva family provided a wonderful evening, and I can't thank them enough and can't wait to go back there again.